Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujib Baba ki Jai. Is it a bit warm? You can put the AC on.
Sorry, that's all. Does it happen because of don't switch on? Should I try this?
It's okay.
It's on now.
It's okay. Oh.
This is loose.
Oh. I have more of a halo now? Yes? You have to artificially create these.
Sure.
More enlightenment. So, what should we talk about? Who's here for the first time? Just put your hand up. Okay, Joanna wants to come. Let her come first.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Hello. Yeah. I'm not sure I have anything to say right now, but I went straight for it and put my hand up.
Very good. I'm glad. I'm very glad you came.
Yeah.
What is it that you can report about yourself right now?
That there's like the memory of, well, there's some memory of like feeling upset about things or feeling troubled, but they're not actually here right now. So, so then it kind of seems a bit funny.
Yes.
The 1 minute it can feel really, yeah, and then fine. So right now, it still seems that there's more attention going outwards, as in being the observer of things.
Yes.
Still being the observer of things, like not attached, with more distance, and then other times ending up being more involved in things like this, rather than facing inwards, so to speak. And then I don't know, then it becomes maybe more of a trying to do that, but it's not a doing, and I understand this. Yeah, something like this maybe.
Okay, let's start with this. This is good enough. And let's really look. So attention is going on things which are outer. No? And you're saying that as the master's advice, the attention is not going inward. So then that is seeming to become a problem. So let's see if I can give you some tips and solutions to make it simpler for you. So attention is going outwards. You're looking at the computer in front or the phone in front. Now, from this, where is it going? Looking at the computer or the phone. Now, where is that information received? The question is clear?
I don't know. Make it more complicated, I think, than what. Well, here, like,
Isn't it? So, no matter where, now try to send your attention wherever you can, right? And see that let's give it two ends. At one end is the object of perception. At one end is the object that you're perceiving. Now, does the other end change when the objects change?
No, it's always, the same.
Yes.
From the same place. Or,
yes.
Yeah.
From or to, or to, either way is the same one. Now, this place, who is there in that place? Who is there in that place? And all of us can look at this question. It's going to be really helpful. So how will you look, my dear? What is the way in which you can look? Are you going to look using your attention itself? Oh. Just put the button. Press the button. Yeah. Under this one? Yeah. Let's turn it off. Yeah. So, what are we looking at? So that we can bring back the focus into the question. Attention can go to any perception. Now, this perception can be what we call the world. This perception can be what we call the body. It can be emotion, thought, imagination, memory, all of these things. Yes? Now, we notice that seems to be one end of attention. But at the other end, that seems to be stable. Now, my question was, who is at the other end? Who is that which is receiving all this perception from attention? Who is that? And then I was asking, what is the way that you will look at this question? Now, you will say, I will look with my attention. But there's a problem with that because then you're trying to overuse attention. One is you're looking at the perception through attention and also use attention to see what is on the other end. Now, if I was to tell you it is not you at the other end of attention and it's Mr. Elephant, whatever. So what would you say? It's you. It's you on this end. So how is that known that it is you? We're going straight for the main thing. We're going straight for the main thing in this opening conversation. And if it doesn't hit home, we'll try various ways to deconstruct that. But really, I'm just pointing to this. So you know it is you without even needing to follow attention. It is an obvious seeing that I am receiving all of this perception using my attention. Now, this I which receives all of this, how is that known? How is that recognized?
It seems that it's like more of a elimination of other things, and then it's just clear.
So are you saying that every time you switch on the TV or you look at the computer now, you say, okay, now it is not the world that is looking at the TV, it is not the body which is looking at the TV, it is not my emotions looking at the TV, it is not my thoughts, memory, imagination, pain, pleasure, none of this. You go through that process every time you look at something.
No.
Recognize that it is you. Is it like that?
No.
Something is more obvious. Like, are you going through that process of elimination now to recognize you are hearing these words? You are aware of the perception of these words. Are you going through an neti right now saying, not the world, not the body, not my emotion. It is I. No? Is it?
No, but there is something which is trying to really overcomplicate this so that I end up like freezing and not able to answer you when you're asking very like simply,
Yeah.
you know.
And what witnesses that something that which is trying to overcomplicate, and we know who that one is. So that one who witnesses that,
Yeah, I do.
is it?
I,
Is it complicated? Okay, if it is between saying okay I do, or it is somebody who's sitting next to me who does, you see? Then the answer is clear to us that it's I. Of course, that I doesn't have a me and a next to me, but we'll come to that in a moment. At least that much is clear that it is I, isn't it?
but
Yeah?
if you make
Yeah.
yes, but if you make a position out of this I, then it becomes also then something that can be seen.
Yes. Yes. If you say this phone is I, then the I can be seen,
Mm.
isn't it? That's what you're saying. If you
Yeah.
say computer is I, then it can be seen. If you say body is I, then body can be seen. If you say nose is I, then nose can't be seen like this, but on a reflection, it can be seen.
Mm.
You see? So you can call anything anything you want, isn't it? But the I that we are speaking of is not to be taken as a position, or in fact cannot be taken as a position, isn't it?
Mm.
So as I'm speaking these words, it is apparent to you that you are aware of the perception. It is not Sri Ram, it is you. Yes?
Mm.
So that obviousness, where does it come from? What hard work do we have to do? This is the main point. Do you have to strive in your head to recognize that it is I that is perceiving? Do you have to strive here? I'm hearing Ananta right now.
No, because if I do that, then it's becoming, if we do this and these thoughts like try, then you can see try.
Exactly. That is perceived. And yet it is perceived by whom? But the same you, isn't it?
Mm.
What are you struggling with, maybe?
Maybe wanting to see this. Oh no, but that's also a
But yes,
thought.
so it cannot be seen. No? It cannot be seen. So everyone has to be clear today that the self cannot be seen, perceived. It can be seen, but not through sight. So therefore, it cannot be perceived. It can be known, but not as a concept. Are we clear about this, on the same page? So let's make a deal. For one moment, I'll address everyone. Can we make a deal today that all of you will not look for the self as if it is going to be an object that is seen? All of you make that deal, put up your hand. Okay, please. Some are not putting, so okay, I want to speak to them. The deal is that you will not look for the self as an object. Yes, very good, very good. So the other ones have some doubt as to how to look for it, and we'll clarify that in a moment. I want to come to everyone. But for you, Joanna, is it clear that you cannot find the self as an object? Because then it would just be another perception. And what does every perception do?
Comes and goes and changes.
Exactly. Every perception comes and goes and therefore cannot be reality. That is Vedanta 101. Everything that comes and goes is not real. Reality does not change. Reality does not come and go. Agreed? These are the basic instruments. Okay. Now, let's go back to what you are asking. You are aware of the perception. Whatever attention may bring to you is a perception. But you are aware of this perception. Yes? This you cannot be seen. then how is it recognized? How is it known that it is I? All of you raise your hands here also. I never looked here. Yes? So if it cannot be seen, then how can we struggle? What is known but not seen? And not known conceptually. It is I that is aware of this perception. That I. How do you know it's you? That's circular. Like how it is the confirmation. But on what basis is the confirmation? Is the question.
I don't have a way to explain it.
Yes. Very good. We don't have a way to explain this. We don't have a way to explain this. This is just like we have to use the term known, but not the usual conceptual knowing. It's just known. Now this no way, no path, you see, is the path to self-knowledge. Now that you, what problem does it have? That you that is aware of this perception, what is it struggling with?
Nothing.
Nothing. Now, is there another you?
Does this, if something of like a feeling or a thought that feels like it's being believed in before, or like something like this, then it feels real for this moment, it
Yes.
can cause a lot of distress.
Yes. Okay, very good. So this is a very, very important point, and this is the second deal we have to make. We will not accept something that feels real to be real. Something that feels real does not stand up to our reality now. Like our certificate of reality cannot be given just to something that feels real. Because, my dear, the whole design of this play, the whole design of Maya is to feel real. Everything here feels real. So if we take that which feels real to be real, then we are back in the play of Maya, in the play of illusion. You see? So our standard for reality now, we have to elevate to a level that it has to go beyond that which we call it feels real. You see? So don't take anything to be real unless you can verify it yourself, not just on the basis of some feeling. Deal? Deal or not?
Still.
Okay. What's the deal? That which just feels real. You see? It's like going to a movie. No, every movie is designed to feel real. No director is making a movie, let me make it feel unrelatable, unreal, unassociatable. Everybody is trying to get your relatability with that. That is the same for this world of Maya. Everything here is designed to feel real. And if we go with that criteria, then we will be stuck in this Maya forever. So then what do we take to be real? That which does not come and go. The same standard for reality. That which does not come and go, and therefore no perception. Agreed? So this is the second deal. What was the first one? I also forgot. It will not look for the self objectively. Yes. So now we don't take that which feels real to be real. We follow the advice of the sages, and we say we are only going to take that to be real which does not come and go, that which is changeless. Okay. Now what is left? Is it up to us or no? Because I know the question that will come from most of you is, I can make these deals with you, but little old me, it just happens to me automatically. I can't do anything about this stuff. Yeah. So that's why the third question maybe is relevant, is to ask you, is the power with you or no?
From here, from this as the base,
Yes. Yes.
then
Yes. Because the non-existent one can never have power. No? That which doesn't exist cannot ever have power. You are the existent being. You are consciousness. All the power rests with you. But if, as consciousness, you decide to give power to the cat sitting next to you, you see, how much power does that cat have? How much power does the cat sitting next to you have? Joanna, say it.
well, doesn't.
Doesn't have. Why doesn't it have? Poor thing.
Because I'm still here, like, and it's
Because
not.
there is no cat, no?
Yeah.
Is there a cat next to you? Oh, I may have missed that. Let me see. No. See, and that process of checking I just did is the inquiry. See, that's it. If you feel like, oh, there's a cat, then we're checking how much power it has, then you see that actually there's no cat. There is no person. You see? So how much power does the person have? Doesn't exist. You see? So the power to not identify, the power to let go, the power to not believe your next thought is always with consciousness. And you truly, in every moment, are just consciousness. See? Or to put it more precisely, you are in every moment of the waking state, you are manifesting as consciousness itself. But
Is that why it doesn't seem to be any spatial distance between the object and the business? Doesn't feel like a spatial connection there. Do you know there's a difference?
between the object of perception and
where it's being seen.
And where it's being
It
seen.
doesn't seem to be
Yes.
happening.
So if that doesn't have distance, then when the masters have said that space is only a notion, we can see that, isn't it? So if there's no distance between that which sees and that which is seen, and therefore no distinction between either of them, then space is just a notional idea.
No distinction between what's
You are saying what? That
Yeah.
what attention is bringing to me
Yeah, that
and where it is seen. There's no distance there. Then where can there be distance?
no thought.
Well, you're saying distance itself is just a thought then. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there seems to be right now a difference between. See.
How to create? Okay, we'll come to that in just a moment. Let's see where we are. So now, but the reality of myself, we are confirming, has no problem. The false one has never existed. Now, what do we need to fix?
Nothing.
Nothing. Is it sound? You're saying nothing, but it's sounding like a nothing but.
But it's not, but it could be a but. Like that it's a big task, that like, wow, it's such a big something like this.
Okay. What is the task, my dear? What is the task?
to maintain.
Okay. So to maintain. Okay. Maybe this is the fourth thing. So To maintain would mean that naturally it is not like that. Would it mean that? If I have to hold it up and keep it like that, and that is a big task, then that would mean that naturally it is not like that. See, I have to hold it up. Now let's look at how it is naturally. Do you have to hold up your being? Just being. In what way can you hold it up? See? Are you working hard to be right now? How many calories are you burning to just hold up your being? Nothing, is it? Then what is the task?
It's referring to memory, to past.
Okay, so memory comes. Memory comes. Then what you're saying is because it feels like it is real, then I take it to be real. And to not take it to be real, to live up to the deal you just made with me, that can feel like a task. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sometimes in some situations, yeah.
Yes. And that task, you have to make a deal with me that you will do 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then otherwise, there's no deal. The deal is that for a while, because the habit seems to be to pick up, therefore to not pick up will seem like it is some effort. And that is why we need to make the deals in the first place. That although it is effortless, it is another one of those feels like things. It will feel like effort for a while. And while it continues to feel like effort, continue to make that effort. Is it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Because it is in making that seeming effort, you come to the recognition of its true effortlessness.
It was really good to hear that. No, what's spoken all the time. But yeah,
You will recognize that it is actually effort to take yourself to be something that you are not. You will recognize that. But in the meanwhile, while it feels like effort to not take yourself to be that, you can make the effort.
but there has been some occasions as well of like, this is talking of the past, but just noticing a bit that going with the mind's like what it's saying, it's almost like you don't actually need to listen to this rubbish, like this kind of, like just leave it. It's just, it does feel like an effort. Other times it some kind of distressing, like fear or something takes over, and in those moments, but then that always calms down eventually. And
I'll give you a tip which makes it easier. You see, now you entered this movie. Now the movie has the scenes and the movie has a narrative. It has a narrator. You see, now it feels like natural to see the movie and then agree with whatever the narrator is saying. You see, there may be a donkey walking on the frame in the movie, but the narrator may be saying, "This is a monkey." No, but our habit to listen to the narrator is so strong that we take its lens to be true. You see, especially if the movie has gone on for some time. So now what is happening is that I'm saying continue to watch the frames. Don't worry about what the frames are bringing. Just the narrator's voice, you let it come and go. Don't pick up what it is saying. See for yourself instead of buying what the mind is saying about what it is. See for yourself. To see for yourself is pure perception. To go with the mind's version of what it is the storification or the making up the false narrative. Clear?
yes.
So there's a deal here. No? Somebody is writing down the deal. So the deal here is that we will not go with the mind's version of what is even appearing. We will just see for ourselves.
Because the mind's version, well, It's just, it can be all sorts of things, can't it? But
Yeah.
here it's just horrible. But that's even making some conclusion, I suppose. But it's just nightmare things, it says. And
Yes.
yeah.
Now, sitting in this Zoom room or Satsang hall, you see, one's mind will call it heaven, one's mind will call it hell. And both are just mind interpretation. So that's why it is said heaven and hell are both here, because it is just a perspective that our mind brings to whatever this is. And in your seeing, you see, it takes a bit of getting used to not rely on the interpretation of what this is. You see, so in your seeing, in your hearing, in your perceiving, if you don't rely on an interpretation of what anything is, you are meeting it fully. But our habit is to try and conclude or try to interpret what this is. And that's what gets us in trouble. Even right now, the mind may be saying, what's happening to me? Am I getting this? Is it? Am I not getting this? None of that is relevant. To meet everything without the limitation of the mind is pure perception. And in pure perception, you are not confused about who you are. In fact, it is apparent who you are. You just don't have the conclusion in your mind. You're not able to interpret who you are or judge who you are, but you know in your heart who you are. You see? So, self-knowledge is inherent in your conceptual emptiness. It sounds a bit academic. I hear the words as they come out of this mouth. So, what I'm simply saying is that without judging or concluding anything here, you see, who you are is just apparent to you. Now, what did you have to do with your attention? You cannot, can you throw both ends of your attention away? Take the end that brings perception and the end where it reports. Just throw it all away. Say to attention, I don't want you fully. I'm throwing you. Throw it. Can't throw it. Can't throw it. It's always there. That's called the waking state. Now, this end, which is connected to you, and the other end is bringing content, is bringing perception. Can you reverse it? Can't reverse it. Now, so it's always going to be like this. Perception is going to come to that which is aware of perception. You see, it is going to always work like that. Now, can you make that perception relevant in any way to that which is aware of the perception? Just make it important or relevant in some way to that which is aware of it. Can you do it? Is it? You cannot do it when you're looking like this, like you said. You cannot do it. And yet, all of this realm is designed to feel like it is. It's all designed to feel like it is, but it never actually is. Because the one that is aware is so far removed and so magnificent in its nature that all of this play of light and sound is nothing. It's just a minor, not even a minor flickering for that reality that you are. You see?
It's very difficult.
Yes. So I was saying the one that is aware, whatever the perception may be, you see, that one is so magnificent and far removed. You cannot even say a different dimension because it's beyond all dimension. That nothing can come here that can become so important or relevant or attack or need some defending against. Everything can come here. Tell me how it can hurt or affect or be impactful in any way to that which is aware of that perception.
It can believer.
But in the belief, you're just making it feel like it can. Like it's just all a make believe. It's not a real thing. It's just a make believe. So I can say, oh, it's really important that I have this computer. I'm really attached to it. You see, but in my reality, how important is this computer? Nothing. It's nothing because it cannot touch me. It is not in the same realm as me. I'm beyond all realms. And yet, this play of Maya is designed to feel as if it is important, it is relevant, it is meaningful, or even designed to make you feel like it is meaningless. It's also meaningless. You see, that is also to give it meaning. You see, actually, all of this is not applicable to what you are. So, neither position of meaningful or meaningless applies.
Maybe there's something here which feels that some doubt has come here that I'm not seeing.
I'm not?
I'm not seeing as clearly, or
Exactly, but the doubter mind can never see it. You see, the mind has no place in this party. It did not get the invite. The mind, whatever version of mind, did not get the invitation because it cannot receive it. You see, so it is not lying in this instance. It is not something it can report on because it's not a perception. The mind is designed to report on things which have some shape, that have some size, and then report on things which it can just make some intellectual conclusions about, like negations of these things. But you are beyond assertion and negation. None of these apply to you. Are you trying to convince your mind? Are you trying to get a certificate from the mind? Like, okay, what else you got? Are you with me now finally or no? Are you going to agree or are you going to trouble me now when Ananta-ji stops talking to me? Like a spoiled child in the principal's room, no, the mind. So you're the parent who's brought the child to the principal's room and saying, now he's telling you, are you going to follow or are you going to trouble mama again when, when we go back home? Is it like that? Many times I feel like we're doing this in Satsang to our mind. I hope you're getting all this. I don't want this bad behavior from you again.
No, it was just something when you were speaking, and then I look, and then it felt like, oh, are you being honest? Actually, are you sure? Like this, and
Who are these questions to?
mm,
The same bad boy in the head. Who are these questions for? Who should be honest? What is the best case outcome, best case scenario now after this?
That the mind's like this little whatever, whatever.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
With the memory showing mind.
Yeah, these reactions to it just
Yes, but who can be so troubled by the mind? That's what I was asking. So, the object of perception, can it actually ever become so relevant to the reality of you? Thoughts are just another perception, isn't it? Now let's try to make it a big thought. Just make it a big, scary thought. Invite it. Let's see what. Like you said, you wanted to become. Let's just see if it's not actually always like that. Let's make it really big. Now it should be able to. It should be that big that it should be able to make a tiny scratch on awareness. It has to become that big that it makes a tiny, tiny scratch on awareness, like the slightest scratch. I want to see a thought that big.
but even that's like feels like such an effort to try and force something to try and create when it doesn't feel like.
Yeah, but do the effort because I'm telling you, just do it. Like I know I'm always speaking of effortlessness and open and empty, but today's satsang, this is my evil twin with the trim beard. Let's invite this big thought who can really make a scratch on awareness, make a dent of some sort. Can do it. $1,000 prize for whoever is able to achieve it. I want to see a scratched awareness for the first time. You can do it. Yeah, this scratch. Is it? So who wants like a light mind? If awareness cannot be hurt by the biggest thoughts and the scariest ones, then who wants it to become? Who wants the mind to become light and easy? Can you be anything other than awareness and its manifest aspect called consciousness? Now you may say, okay, now let's look at the manifest aspect. So, what can come that can hurt beingness, consciousness? Because I feel like all of you can very clearly see that awareness is so far removed from all of this play that it cannot be hurt. What about your being? What can come and hurt your being? Nothing, my dear, nothing. So all that is getting hurt ever is the non-existent, the mythical. All that is getting hurt is the story. Not even the one with the story, because there is no such one. Our attachment, like consciousness, placing value in a narrative, you see, and then playing the Leela in such a way that the narrative goes for a toss as it must, and then saying, oh, my story. I wanted this. This is not what I had planned. I wanted freedom by 22. Look at me still coming to satsangs. I should have had a sangha by now. Yeah. I want you to keep coming up like this for the next few satsang till I tell you to stop.
Okay. Actually, just to say, it worked out very nice today because I'm working, but I don't start till later on this afternoon, and I thought there was going to be half an hour from when satsang started to having to leave, but I found out just a bit before that I'm not starting till later. So yeah,
Oh,
very nice.
nice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah,
All my love to Sriram as well.
yeah. I will pass on. He's working now, actually. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to Natalie and Jonathan. Is it Natalie or Natalie? Natalie.
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see both of you. So can we just quickly recap the deals we made? Does anybody have some sense of what they were? The first one is don't look for the self as if it is an object. The second is if it feels like doesn't mean that it's true. Just because something feels true doesn't make it true. Or rings true, feels true, thinks true, all these other true, then everything other than true. And what is the way to determine truthiness?
Doesn't come and go.
Yeah, only that which doesn't come and go is real. Then, what else did we say?
We will not go with the mind's version of pure perception, we will see process.
We will not go with the mind's interpretation, mind's version of what is being perceived. We will just see for ourselves. Very nice. Can't suffer after this stuff.
The power is with you.
Yes, yes.
To do that.
So the idea that, oh, I can't do this, all this just happens to me automatically. And it's the masters that are silly who are telling me not to identify or to not log in or make the choice not to go with your thoughts. Don't believe your next thought. All the masters don't know what they're talking about. Actually, I don't have this power at all. Isn't that the trick the mind plays? I can't help it.
I just feel to say thank you so much for your blessing.
So welcome. So welcome.
Thank you so much for being here, sharing satsang.
Very welcome. Very welcome. Always. You want to give me a report about something also?
I'm very happy to be with you, to meet you and talk to you in this way. And I could very much relate to what you said before.
Very good. Very good.
I find that sometimes there is a sense of I have to do something, so it's important to take right decisions or that the play works out in a certain way.
So you feel that sometimes the idea of being an individual decision maker or doer can still seem alive and strong. Is that what the report is?
Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes there is this feeling of being bothered by thoughts or pictures coming up. Yeah. And I find myself also behaving strangely sometimes. And I think, oh, why would I do this? But it seems to just play out in a way. And I wonder if that's a bad sign or there are these thoughts coming up.
So, good. So we make a deal. All spiritual progress, and whether we're doing well or badly, is whose problem? Whose problem is my problem, okay? Not your. Who makes this deal? All spiritual progress from here on forth will be my problem. It will only be Ananta's problem, Guruji's problem. Very, very. Then how will you trouble yourself now? So if you're doing really badly, getting angry, shouting at people, whose problem is it? So your spiritual progress is the master's problem. Some work to do also. No? Like, I have nothing to do. I really have nothing to do. Your being is full and pristine and all there is already, just like that. It means no intervention. I have no actual work to do. Just keep reminding you. So if progress has to be tracked, I have enough free time. I'll track. You see? And this, I'm making a lot of light of this, but this actually is very oppressive for a spiritual seeker. You see, like most spiritual seekers are on this treadmill. Feel like, I must not get angry anymore. I can't get into a fight anymore. I can't feel lust anymore. I can't feel like eating dessert anymore. I can't watch my TV show anymore. And I just have to be like, awareness. some idea like that. So, and we got into this so that we could be free. No? But what is it? It doesn't look very free. And like my attention can't leave also now. It's just like my attention has to be inwards. But you are not. What kind of freedom? Straight jacket. Here comes the greatest age. Just naturalness, just whatever is organic is all good. Consciousness is not making any mistakes. And it is the master chef. It is cooking your dish properly, perfectly. So, your end of the deal is what all I've told you. And then if you live up to that, all these ends of the deal, then all your spiritual progress is for mine to take care of. Even if you do badly on some of the deals, it's okay. Now, how will you trouble yourself? Not worthy, not good enough. All that is my problem. Everybody's getting an A star.
I think there used to be a car for lease.
There was a car like that?
A car.
Car, yeah.
Lease.
Car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me drive your car.
Yes.
It's the reverse of that popular song. Popular song is, baby, you can drive my car. Here I'm saying, baby, let me drive your car.
What? She died.
Thank you, thank you. Put on my specs if I'm going to drive this car. Okay, let's go to Madalena.
Namaste, Father.
Okay, oh, sorry. That's the wrong button. Let's try again.
No? Yes.
Fine.
Is two in Satsang tonight?
There's somebody snoring. Is that snoring?
Anna is snoring. She didn't want to go to bed,
Sweet.
and she's just hanging around. Anna, where's back to Ananta?
Hi.
And we were both very happy to. We were both very happy to be here with you, and there was much joy flowing around here, expressed in different ways, I guess.
Yes.
She was far more expressive than me. We are coming to Bangalore on 9th of March.
Good. I'm very happy to hear that.
And we are flying from Australia on the 4th. But we are somehow, our flights are taking us to Tiru first.
Must be landing in Chennai first.
We are, yeah.
Very good.
I couldn't understand anything you said with the wrong instrument tonight.
You didn't understand anything with the wrong instrument. Perfect.
I can't even I have a very good memory in general, but I'm struggling to remember the deals.
We'll put it on the chat.
Yeah, okay.
One of you can post in the chat. I'm sure one of you is taking good notes.
And even if there are thoughts coming into my mind, but there is no clinginess onto them. But and I feel to ask, who am I now?
That's me.
Anna, be a bit quiet.
It's okay. It's okay. Who do you want to ask?
I think myself.
Okay. Don't even ask, it's okay. Just be open and empty, it's fine.
When I ask this question, there is a struggle from the mind, like the question comes from the mind.
The question comes from the mind and goes where?
Nowhere.
Huh? So when you ask, who am I? Is it not apparent who you are? Like, who knows that it comes from the mind and goes nowhere? Who knows all this? That you, it's apparent. If you don't add anything to it, you see, we are not taking ourselves to be the body-mind naturally. We have to believe a thought for that. You have to identify for that. Try it. Without any logging into any thought, take yourself to be the body. Is it? Now, some of you will do, because I've asked this question many times, will take the presence of sensation to imply an identification. The presence of sensation does not imply an identification with the sensation. So just like there is light in front of you, there is sound, you can hear all of this, you don't identify with, or not yet, anyway. So in the same way, don't identify with these sensations also. See if they're naturally saying me, or something. Just observe. So without buying into any thought, see if you are taking yourself to be something at all, anything at all.
Mhm.
Now, where will you check for clarity or lack of clarity? Like, I was going to ask you whether it is clear who you are, but not in your head, and definitely not as an object, so definitely not in your perception or in your head. Is it not clear who you are? You may feel like, and tell me if it is like this, you may feel like, but I can't be clear anywhere else except my head. Is it like that? Very good. Saves me a lot of work. I'm happy to do it if you feel like it is true that unless you become clear in your head about it, you cannot be clear about who you are. But to start with, I would say it is not possible in your head.
But we have started doing that.
Yeah. It may have started like that, where you feel like you have to come to some objective conclusion. Yeah. I used to say always that it's clearer or very clear when I close my eyes. But the second my eyes are open, it all becomes. Now, gone. Gone. the distinction goes like that. So, yes, a few have had like that. It's nothing to do with that. See you soon. See you soon, my dear.
Thank you.
All my
All my love.
Before we go to the next question, just take a moment to see the astounding discoveries you're making. Awareness, untouched, effortless presence. And whose presence is this? Whose presence is it? Whose being is here? How will you look? Where will you look to determine this answer? This light of presence. Who is this being? Who is being? Is your body the container for this being? Or are these sensations that we call the body also just appearing in the light of your being? Let's go to Satyam.
Hello, Ananta-ji.
Oh, my dear.
Oh, I am right now in Rishikesh.
Wonderful, wonderful. You made it.
Yeah, I did made it. And as it's a little story because I can't help but tell because life had a plan. I landed, and the next day, my mother had a heart attack.
Oh,
So, so I am. It's in the middle of the storm right now. I'm in the hospital. She's out of the critical condition. It's more stable now, and I am also glad to be here because everything is pointing in my life to this. So it's a lot to take.
yes, yes.
But I am glad that my inclination towards whatever this is by grace. It's here always, and everything is pointing to my own self, which I can't see, but it's always here. I know it, but the play of body mind is also happening at the same time.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I can't, and I can't stop that either.
It's fine. It's fine. So for a few days, don't worry about anything at all.
Okay.
Don't worry about anything. Everything is allowed. Everything is fine.
There was such a, he said, it's like really the darshan of death I have faced within me through my mother in these last 7 days. And it's quite a, it's one of the most strongest, I think I have someone you are so close to, and everything comes up, all what is here.
All my blessings, all Sangha's blessings, all
Yeah.
grace, everything is with you, with your mom,
Yeah.
within your heart.
And by grace, she's also an awoke woman. She has always taught me about the witness, has reminded me always. So she was witnessing when the attack was happening. She was witnessing all, but we cannot stop the body mind play because the genetics and the whole, it works like this life play. It can't be put into words really what goes on. So, and tomorrow we will be discharged from here, and then there has to be a very, just have to be taken care a month with food and stuff like that.
Of course.
And total care, and it's fine for me. The great power is doing all this through me, and I'm enjoying it also, that to be in service to my mom in that way.
Very good. Very.
So I'm happy.
I'm glad that Grace organized it in such a way that you could be here to take care of her.
Yeah, this is an amazing part, which I am really, I just can stay in, really in wonder how it organized itself. Only after my arrival it happened.
Very.
And your presence is always in my heart, Ananta-ji, Omoji Babas, and all the saints. And yes, so your image reminds me of what is true for me deeper, and the play also goes on at the same time.
Yes.
And I will try to come to Bangalore if that is okay for you, if everything goes to meet you physically.
Whenever it is possible, it is your home. You can come anytime.
I'm so glad. Thank you. I just have to share this today because this is what is happening.
Yes.
So thank you for the Sangha, because I put it on the Sangha, and they all had a very beautiful messages. So thank you to Sangha, and thanks to you for your blessings.
Full blessings.
And please bless that I may able to see, I'm able to see the hands of the grace in all the odd situations. That's all I wish. I'm not asking a particular way things should be, but I should be able to see the bigger picture. This is all I ever have wanted in my life.
All my blessings. All my blessings.
Thank you, Ananta-ji, once again.
Okay, let's go to Shrikant.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. This week I was thinking more about effort.
You were thinking about it?
Yeah, I mean, somewhere I read
Okay, what did you think about?
Somewhere I read Bhagavan saying, to keep quiet until your awareness is continuous. You bring your attention back to yourself, something like that. So
many times translations can also be a bit confusing. Like awareness is already ever present, so you don't have to worry about making it continuous.
I mean, someone asked Bhagavan that her awareness is not continuous. There are thoughts in between. That's when Bhagavan says you need some effort in the beginning to.
The essence of the question seems to be what I was answering earlier also, in terms of the seeming effort to not pick up, to take it to be true. And we can make that effort as long as it feels like effort. But as far as awareness is concerned, it is untouched and unmoved through all of this play. So even the thought coming, you see, even when there are thoughts, even when belief happens, the same awareness is aware of all of these perceptions. Okay? So possibly the guidance was, there are two ways in which we use the word awareness. The usual way in the world is to say, I was less aware, I want to be more aware, you see, and that is referring to like a quality of attention in some way. So I want to have my attention fully on the object of perception, that is called more awareness. And the attention is dissipated between many different things, thoughts, emotions, objects. That is called less awareness in the world usually. So in that context, then sometimes the master may answer like that, saying, you keep your attention in your being, or keep your attention with the inquiry, or just whatever the method has been prescribed to that one. And that is that can be called as being more aware. You see, but the awareness that we are speaking of is that which is the unchanging reality, which is, it doesn't have a more, doesn't have a less. It is fully ever present, beyond even presence. So that we cannot either impede or increase in any way. So sometimes semantics can be a bit confusing, because if awareness also was to come and go, then it would just be like another perception.
Like the Muji Baba said, like the seeming third bird. That story.
No, the absolute reality of the third bird.
But the second bird, is it what the observer is, or is it what the focus the one who is making the focus? Is it the second bird?
You have to check. You want me to spoil it for you? Then we have to find another metaphor, no? to use for your inquiry. But I have spoiled it a few times in the past. I have to stop doing this. You can check like that. So there's a bird which is doing all the movement. Who is observing that? You have to check for yourself. That which observes that which sees it, which hears it, which perceives it in all ways, is the second bird. And what is aware even of the entire playing out, what is aware of the play of perception as well as of movement. You see, who is that? That is the third bird.
But then where does this presence of the God come?
That you have to answer. Okay? That you have to answer.
Because even the presence of God is perceived, and that perception is even seen.
Yes. So God gives us the prasad of God's presence, which is tastable. But God is not limited to God's presence. Maybe the mind cannot process these words. You can tangibly taste the presence of God as the primordial vibration. But God is not limited to the taste of the presence. God's presence or God's being is beyond the tastable presence itself. And even this taste is on the cusp of the manifest and the unmanifest. So all of these things, just dive deeply into them before we can conclude. So at one level, of course, the presence of being, the sense I am, some may feel like it is centered in the heart region, some may feel like it's centered in the head region, some may feel like it's everywhere, some may feel like it surrounds the body. You see, all this is the tastable, like the footprints of the presence of the Lord.
Most of the time I can feel a strong presence here in my chest area.
Yes, region. Yes, that's
like a vibration. It is
like a vibration. But is your presence limited to just that vibration? You can contemplate this question. Does presence stop there? Does it have a boundary around the chest region and say, oh, presence is just here? Or being is just here? You may taste the presence in the heart region, but does that limit your being in any way?
There is like an emptiness in which this vibration is there.
Yes. But try not to make like imagery. Like imagery is helpful as a broad construct, but just try to meet all of this intuitively. Because in your imagery, in the interpretation through visualization, you will come up with a construct, but it will be much drier than when you taste it in the heart. When you taste it without the mind, it will be so much more beautiful and intricate than the imagery which is so black and white in terms of, oh, it is here, then there's this here, and then there's that here. The reality is much, much broader than these space-time constructs.
But can I use this vibration as my stick, Father?
Yes, you can. You can. If it feels natural, if it feels light, you can use it. No doubt you can use it. It's very good, actually. It's very good. No other instruction is needed, actually. If you can do that, it's good enough. But
I need your blessings.
Full blessing.
I don't see much willpower left in me.
Full blessings. Full blessings.
Thank you.
All my love. Okay, let's go to Paula.
Namaste, Father.
Okay, straight up now, tell me. The ones that will get that reference were in my generation. You didn't get the joke, no? Too young.
No, I didn't hear it. Can you repeat it?
I said to Paula, I want to say straight up now, tell me.
I don't get it anyway. Doesn't matter.
There's a very famous, in my time, she's still alive, of course, but very famous singer called Paula Abdul. And her most famous Grammy-winning song was Straight Up, and the lyric was something like that.
Okay.
What you were expecting to hear in Satsang? She said, what am I supposed to do with this information? How can I use it to find awareness? What is Father trying to tell me? Nothing, my dear. Go on.
Yeah, no, I know I'm not getting it anyway. So. Oh, Father, I don't know. There's been questions coming and also feelings and thoughts, interpretations all this time in Satsang. But
did you make the deal with me or no?
Yes, that's why I'm just this pull to come to you, and doesn't matter any of those things that are happening. And
we're going to talk some more about this, your prospective visit to Bangalore. I read your messages, and let's see how we can facilitate.
Even that message I sent, it was just to ask you to please don't allow me to fantasize too much with that, because I'm here and I see this fantasizing thing, how it's suffering basically.
The two children who just come recently to Bangalore, the first few days reports have only been burning. Not so much today.
Oh,
Oh no.
yeah. You give us a break sometimes.
Little harmless, little so much maligned as the lead burner or something. Is it
My
frozen?
signal is really poor right now, so I don't. Yeah, I'm living in a place where it's the countryside, so it's weak. Mm. Yeah, yes, Father. I just love you so much, and whatever happens in life, it doesn't matter really.
Yes. And I is who?
I don't know right now. Well, thank you for that question.
This answer doesn't take time. This is the only answer that needs no time. Every answer needs time, except this one. What our usual approach is to, like, I need some time for this. Thank you for asking me this, and I'm going to spend the next few days till next satsang to just go deeply into this. And that's fine too. But right now, who are you? Because although the words were received very beautifully and they touched my heart also, but my real feeling is to just nudge you a little more. Nudge you a little more.
Yes. Yes.
What do you know about yourself timelessly? Which means no time. Timeless means no time.
That I'm always here.
Yes.
It's
very good, very good. And the here is what?
everything.
Here is what?
It's present.
Yes, presence is present in the universe, you mean? Or what do you mean?
No space, no space, notion of space, no.
So when we say I am here, we're talking about that presence in the light of which the universe emerges, not as an objective here-ness that I am located somewhere. Yes? We're talking about that light, that presence, the being, which is the light of the screen of consciousness. You see, and the screen as well, of course. But the light, which remains untouched by the play of time and space.
When you said that, no, I don't remember the words. Like where from the universe is born or something like that.
Yeah.
That sentence somehow it's as if it's too much to say that for me.
Yes. As too much where?
I don't know.
What decides? Where's the thermometer for too less or too much, or the weighing scale? Where is that?
Can you repeat?
Yes, what the measuring tool, the measuring instrument for whether something is too much or too little?
The mind.
So then we don't have to filter. You see, I've been saying heart to mouth, from heart to mouth, not heart to head to mouth. Because the head will always say, "Are you sure?" Like even Joanna was saying earlier, "Are you being honest about this?" This is the only thing we can be honest about. Our unlimited nature, our unlimited reality is all that we can truly be honest about. But when we filter it through the mind, you see, then we'll say, "Nah, has it truly been your experience? No, you're just showing off, or you're just, you are unlimited? No, just yesterday you were fighting with your family, what unlimited?" You see, that's how the mind operates. So don't have to burden your heart content with what your head judges it to be.
So yeah, it's as if there's still confusion there, like
That is the home of confusion.
yes.
So let that home be confused. So our job, okay, deal number 6 or whatever, is not to try and fix or change the mind. The home of confusion, the home of blurriness, we are not trying to make it clear over there. We are just to recognize that is where all this cloudiness is there. But we don't have to play there. There's so much more to my being than me having to live through the oppression of this mental slavery by trying to, make the mind better or change the mind. None of that is needed. So where there's confusion, where there can be confusion, let there be confusion. What about the rest of you? The aspect of your being which can be confused, let that be confused. What's happening to the rest of your being?
Nothing happening.
Is that nothing good enough? Is that like a bad nothing? Like, oh no. Once you start living here, this you will realize the beauty of this pristine nothingness. Just live here. Let the house of confusion or the ride of confusion, the roller coaster of confusion, let that be up down. It's not your business anymore. So the deal is, it's none of your business to try and fix your mind or make it more clear or less confused or whatever else you want to do with it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm loving these deals we are making today. And somebody, like we sometimes joke about the qualifications of coming into Vedanta. Somebody may look at these like a few years later and say, "Oh, so you start with these, and then what is left to do?"
Thank you, Father.
If none of you had the spiritual problem to grapple with, the problem of enlightenment or freedom, what problem would you have? I feel like for many times, and I'm not just saying specifically to Paula, I'm just generally saying that many times we get so involved in the spiritual search that we just feel like, without this, I'm nobody. So maybe that is the only identity which needs chopping.
But it could be also very similar to the other aspects of life where we are
Yes, exactly.
in trouble. It's same type of experiences, sensations, craziness.
and nonsense. I mean, and concepts which are just pure rubbish. As much possible in notional, conceptual spirituality as any other aspect of the world, maybe more so. Very good.
Thank you, Father.
What role of contemplation while hearing the Master's words and self-inquiry? What is the role of contemplation while hearing the Master's words and self-inquiry, or how to contemplate? Please guide us. Very good. This is an important question. So when we say in Satsang, contemplate the words, we are not saying think about them. Don't go to your thoughts. Think about what I'm saying. That's not good instruction. So when it is advised, contemplate. Can you stop being now? Can you stop being? For example, that's one of the contemplations that we often say here. Then what can you do? If you think about it and say, no, but consciousness is ever present, can't stop being. That is one way to answer. Through your thinking or learned knowledge. That is dependent on the past. You see? So that is not the contemplation that is required in Satsang. When a contemplation is given in Satsang, can you stop being? Try to stop being. You see? Don't use your head to contemplate the words of Satsang. Just allow a deeper intelligence to take it in. You see? So your intuition knows exactly what to do with the question. Are you aware now? You can't think about it. You see? So again, this is like awareness. Another word where in the world to contemplate may mean, I'm going to just sit and think about this, like the famous thinker or something. Just think about this. So it seemed like that is the most contemplative, but that is not the contemplation we are talking about in Satsang. We're talking about just the words actually are meant to do a mind bypass, and you meet them at a deeper level. But you don't have to think about any of this. Just be as natural as possible. Just, okay, let me make it simplest. As much attention as you feel like you can muster, allow them to be in the words of Satsang, and let the words do whatever job they have to do. That is good enough contemplation. Yes. As much attention as you feel you can muster in the moment. I don't want to say give it all your attention, because I know you'll beat yourself up when something else comes in your attention. So just whatever attention is available to you, try to keep them in the words that are being shared in Satsang, and don't try to meet those words through your thinking mind. Just allow the words to do the work on their own. So a question like, can you stop being? It carries whatever explosive material is needed for it to explode within your being. See, so you don't have to pull the trigger or do any of that. See? Just stay with as much attention as you possibly can. And even that, I'm not judging you on that. Like sometimes attention will wander. When you come back, don't beat yourself up on it. Say now, okay, now I can listen. Now, that much is good enough. Very good. Okay, let me skip the queue a bit and go to Lanier and Gabriel, because it looks like they're waving out. See what the baby has to say. Hello.
Hello. This little one woke up and I felt like he might like to say hello.
Hi. Hi there.
Ask your blessing for him.
Full love, full blessings to both of you. Gabriel also in particular.
Do you want to say something? He said before, I said, would you like to ask a question? And he just said, love heart. So that's good.
Big hug, all my love.
Yeah, we love you so much.
So much love, so much.
So grateful, and he's totally under grace. So both of the little boys I've got are. So yeah,
Okay.
thank
Where
you.
are you, where are you dialing in from?
We're in Queensland, Australia.
Ah,
Yeah. Nice.
nice to see you both, and I feel such a deep heart connection already.
Yeah. I've spoken to you a couple of times late last year, which was very powerful. And yeah, I just feel a lot of deep love for you. And yeah, you're right here. Yeah, I love you so much. And
Okay.
so thank you. Thank you for
Hey,
me.
so welcome, so welcome. So when I started the broadcast, actually my son was also dialed in, but I don't see him here now. But he was just pulling my leg in private chat. He's like, "What's happening, bro?" Although he was just a little older than Gabriel when we first went to Guruji. In fact, maybe a bit older, but my daughter was a similar age when.
Yes, it's the middle of the night here.
Yes, yes, and Australia must be very late.
Yeah.
See you soon. See you soon. Okay, let's go to Clarissa.
Namaste, Baba. Thank you for the love that is here. I was struggling a lot at the beginning, and now it's really vast and silent. This is beautiful.
Beautiful. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. And the key, of course, is that we are not trying to fix the struggling mind. We are just going to notice that there's an aspect to our being which can be confused, can struggle, it can have all kinds of positions it takes, but there's a deeper intelligence, there's a heart intelligence, intuitive insight. And once we go there, then we see that all of this is untrue for our true nature, which is so vast and supremely intelligent. So all that is happening is the switch from giving belief and value to the notions of the mind, to letting go of these notions and value and switching to, and the switch you don't have to do, just the letting go of the false is good enough to come to the truth. So as you're making this report, it is apparent that you switched away from the struggling mind, and in switching away and not giving belief to those constructs, now you're in your heart, which is all that satsang is really meant to do. Because there's nothing missing here. Your self-knowledge is apparent here. What if there is guidance needed, even in a worldly way, it is available here. Everything is here. Very good. Very good.
Thank you so much.
All matter. Okay, let's put Aniko.
Hello, Ananta-ji.
My dear.
Can you hear me?
Very well today. Very good.
Thank you. When you was speaking with Madalena and you asked what kind of things we can identify with, like sensation, feelings, objects. So for me is clear to see then I am not my feeling, not the sensation, but I usually identify myself with the one who suffered them. And Guruji said the sufferer and the sufferer is the both side of one coin.
Yes.
And I really can see then I can witness both, but still I mean is still this identification with the sufferer is really strong, because so I cannot control the witness cannot control what is the object. It can be anything.
Just slowly. So
Yes,
how do you know your identification is strong?
because I suffer a lot. And Guruji also said, use the suffer and the suffering to transcend him.
Yes.
And I just couldn't. I give it up, and I am very guilty now because I take now so much like herbs with to let me sleep and things. So I mean, I just give it up. I cannot transcend everything, and I mean, I don't know, it's just overpowering me, and
let's try to make some of this happen now.
Excuse me?
Can we try and make some of this happen now? Like suffer a little bit now?
Yeah, but this is the method, and now I can't suffer. But I know I shouldn't speak in time. But and now I was so peaceful, all this satsang and you and it was so beautiful. But I know if I don't ask it now, it's always coming back. This strong identification with the one who suffered the objects, and I cannot make the sufferer disappear. I cannot choose or control what is coming up. I just have to take everything as it is, and So how to not identify with the sufferer?
Yes. Forget the sufferer for a moment.
Yes.
Forget about the sufferer for a moment.
Yeah.
Now, the good news is that your mind will only give you one thought at a time.
Yeah.
You see, it cannot give you two thoughts at a time. It may come very fast. It may be boom, 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 boom. But it will only give it to you one thought at a time. Now, you have only one job, which is to allow that thought to come and go. That's all. So, how do I not identify with the sufferer? Just let it go.
It's not going.
It'll go. It cannot stay. Have you met a thought that comes and stays?
No, sometimes it goes, but it's coming back and.
So every time it comes back, let it go.
Yeah, but it's happened anyway. So, but.
What happened?
It is already going and coming and going and coming. Even if I not let him
get out of that ride. Let the thoughts come and go.
Yeah.
You get out of that merry-go-round.
Excuse me?
You don't get on that merry-go-round. You get out of the merry-go-round. The thoughts are coming and going. Thoughts are coming and going. Let it happen.
Yeah.
You don't participate in that party.
But Ananta-ji, I can see it is even not.
My control.
I cannot. Yes. Sorry, my English is not very good, but really is not my. It's just automatically happening. It is just. I cannot do anything really about it.
Can't do anything. No? Were you here in the beginning of Satsang where we made the deals?
Yeah, I did. This is why I said now is not really. It is about after Satsang.
Okay. No, it's okay. So the you that does not have control is with. I was asking Joanna how much power her non-existent cat has.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know.
that doesn't have any power, cannot be God, obviously. You see, it cannot be God. Because what kind of God would have no power? You see, so either God must be here or you must be here. Who is the one that is here?
Always God is here.
But God is now become powerless against its own creation. This little bit of bubbles called the mind.
I don't know why God like to suffer.
So sweet. That's sweet, very sweet. So there is God, there is you, and there is the mind. Is it like that?
Yeah. No.
No.
Me and the mind is the same, and there is God.
Okay. So you are the mind.
Sorry?
So you are the mind.
Yes.
Okay. Now between two thoughts, who are you? Because mind.
No, sorry, no. I am not. No. I am not the mind.
Not the mind, because mind is only thoughts. And you can witness even these thoughts. And between two thoughts, then you would have gone, but you don't go. You witness even the absence of thoughts, isn't it?
Yes.
If you were just the mind, then you would only be there when there is a thought.
Yes, but who is the sufferer?
There is no, that is the idea. But don't worry about that for a moment. Like I said, don't worry about this.
Yeah.
So now there is God, there is you, and there is the mind. Now you say that there is no, like me and the mind is the same. Is that correct?
Yes.
You are the same as your mind.
Yes.
So when the mind is not there, that means the thought is not there, you also go?
This eyes go, but something is still here.
Okay, so the one that goes, is that more you, or the something that is still here is more you?
It depends on how much I suffer. I mean, this one is always here.
Now,
I mean,
the simple way is, if you were to take my word for it, the mind is not you. You see? Therefore, the sufferer idea is just an idea. It is not you. That which is aware of the perception of the mind is you. Who is that mind?
Yes, I know. But the one who is aware, is it the same who create everything?
So now what's happening in this conversation is that you're the girl in the middle. Okay? Now, there are two of us who are trying to pull you on both sides. You see, two, let's call them men, who are pulling you from both sides. So the master is saying, come with me, and the mind is saying, come with me. And what is happening is that you are trying to have a three-way conversation. So when I tell you, you go back to your mind and say, hey, what do you think about this? And mind says, ba, 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 ba. And then you say, ba, 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 ba. Then I say, blah, 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 blah. Then you say, oh, but he's saying blah, blah, blah. So what? Then he says more blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, Ananta-ji, I listen to you now. I'm so sorry.
So what is happening is this three-way conversation where you're in the middle and your master is pulling you and the mind is pulling you. You see? So I want this to become a two-way conversation for at least a few minutes.
Yes, sure.
Now the three-way conversation means I say something, you give it to the mind and say, he's saying this, what do you feel? And the mind says, but I feel I am the sufferer, what am I? Like that, then you represent that. Then I say something in response to that, you give it back to the mind. So for a minute or two, just cut that connection.
Yeah.
You don't need that connection to the mind.
Yeah.
Don't give anything I'm saying to the mind.
No.
Bother with its responses also.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, do you have any question or struggle or problem? Don't go.
Yeah. Right now, no problem, because you are here with me.
Okay. Now, is there any time for you now?
No.
Is there any time?
No.
Then if there's no time, then what is the difference between right now and always?
Now nothing.
But?
because the first one says something I don't want to say.
Don't listen to third one.
Yeah.
Be with me. Listen to your heart.
Yeah.
Which is the same as listening to me. Now, stay with that. Now, tell me, who is the sufferer? Where is the sufferer? Don't go to the other guy.
I know. It just pulled me really much. And there is a lot of things we want to say.
Yes. Both of us want to say a lot. Who you want to pick is the question.
I don't know.
Oh, really? I'm going to be a good thing I have no ego, otherwise I'd be good.
I mean,
At least you're honest, which counts. What do you have that I'm not giving you?
Excuse me?
What does he have that I'm not giving you?
I didn't mean it.
Because I said, who do you want to pick? You said, I don't know. So I'm asking.
I wanted to say, I don't know where is the sufferer.
Suffering, you wanted.
No, I said, at the moment, I don't know where is the sufferer. I didn't pick them, I know.
Now I want you to do something. Just go away from the Zoom. Just walk around in your house for a minute and come back. Tell me where you've lost me.
Really, you mean I should do?
Yeah, like Guruji gave that project also to somebody. No, I want you also to do, because you've reported this many times that when you're here in Satsang, you're fine, but then after Satsang, what happens? So let's see. What do I vanish? And it's only the mind, the other guy.
But will you wait for... Are you going to wait for me?
Don't take too long, just take a minute.
Okay, I'm going now.
Still laugh.
The first one want to see. Look, in the kitchen is
He's the first one, is it?
not so strong.
He is the first one, and I'm the third one.
No. The source, yeah.
what point did you leave me?
Ananta-ji, you never leave me.
Yes, exactly. Because it's never, never, ever about this body. Never about it. It's your own presence, your own divinity in your own heart. It's always with you. And you can always rely on that.
Thank you so much, Ananta-ji.
So welcome. For nudging me in this exercise. It's really true. So this notion that, oh, in satsang everything is fine, but when I go, then it all goes away. It is actually the mind which is the ephemeral one. Your heart is not coming and going.
I love you.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Go to Laurence.
Can you hear me?
Yes, my dear, very well.
Oh, wow, you pronounced it perfectly. I can't see you.
I have to repeat that many times.
What a beautiful satsang. Thank you. Oh, wow. I love this Sangha and I love you. Yeah, it feels, I never said it, so.
Thank you.
You want a little satsang song?
Yes, would love one.
Yes. Father, I let you drive my car. I be the star. Father, I let you drive my car. And Father, I love you.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Go on, you were going on.
That's all that came. It was so funny.
That's the one, that's the song.
The one in the beginning of the satsang.
Yes, yes.
But it's so perfect, truly. So perfect. I do let you drive my car. Oh, whenever this sense of a doer is coming back, yeah. Give it all to you. Hand it all to you. Every time, yeah, by whatever mysterious alchemy, whenever there is talking to you, there are so many I'm not sure how to say, either a great release or insights, or so it's really amazing. So I don't think it was ever expressed how grateful this one is, truly.
So welcome, and thank you so much for your beautiful presence in satsang as well.
Not taking seriously what was said last time is so.
Yes, I can tell already. Something is much more light this time.
Yeah. Thank you.
So welcome.
And love to Sangha. So love these satsangs and Sangha. Hope one day I can come to you.
Yes, I'd be very happy.
Yes. Right. Let's
There's
see.
nice falafel places here also.
Yeah.
Not as good as that one. Not the laddu.
Laddus. Oh, I've forgotten. It's
You know that laddu is an Indian sweet. No, it's a popular Indian sweet.
yeah, that's what you said. I've never tasted it, so yeah. It's as words don't have the same impact here. Like it feels like memory is also like going somehow, and yeah, it was watched the other I don't know, a couple of days or weeks ago. There was this watching of a satsang with Guruji with some a sister whose father had Alzheimer.
Nice.
And there was all this contemplation afterwards about, well, yeah, judgment there can be as to whatever happens when memory seems to go.
Yeah.
And yet, as awareness is truly, how to say, maybe true presence is assorted also comes together with great memory in the same time. So there's this funny, not sure what to, whatever.
True presence is also accompanied by great memory. Is it? What is that? What you?
Yes, like great sages. They have a fantastic memory somehow.
So I can definitely not get into any great sage category ever. Not that I'm lining up for that, but horrible is terrible.
Yeah. So never mind.
It's all good, my dear. It's all good.
Yes, that's it. Not.
In Guruji is this popular story, because we were in Thiru one time, and then one night he went for dinner with some of the Sangha members, and there in that place they had the aquarium. So then Gautam told him that, Guruji, that this fish has a memory of 3 seconds. Memory of 3 second memory, which I don't know, which has been debunked in some science, but it's a good story anyway. So then Guruji said, really? It's got only 3 seconds? Then they were making all the jokes, Guruji is so funny. Like if somebody punches the fish, then in 3 seconds they'll forget about it, like that. So Guruji also says sometimes that when I'm irritated with someone, I want them to come right now, because 3 seconds later or a few seconds later, I'll forget about it. So then he was saying, all of us should just have like the memory of a fish. Maybe I took that one too much to heart. Heard about the great sages before, I would have taken that one to heart. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Or somehow it's got to do with there was so much like clinging to words and concepts, and also that was the latest major thing that I don't know how to say that, when it was seen that words, they would land somewhere. They were still landing somewhere in some kind of very subtle grasping that wasn't seen. And as this was let go of, it seems like memory is going as well. And there's really faith that whatever will be needed in the moment will just come to consciousness. And so I'm not sure if there's a link, but yeah.
What do you say? What? Who are all of you? What's happening?
And oh yes, also last time we spoke, at some point you mentioned that you lost oh yes, the sense of taste, and it was, and this one cut you straight like and didn't let you finish. Could you talk more about this, because you said
so please, is it after COVID? I may have been after COVID. Yes. For a few days, no, a few weeks actually, sense of smell and taste was not so strong. It was fine. I feel like the sense of losing the sense of smell is actually a benefit.
Yeah, truly.
No, it's fun. It's fun to smell also, but it didn't feel like a big deal, basically. Is that what you were asking about? Or?
No, it just had the feeling that I had cut through something that was going to be said. Of course, it was at the moment like it was a blessing for this CD to disappear. If I understood well what CD was. It's just that how to say, it seems that I'm not sure how to phrase this. The great challenge, let's say, whatever here, as this body has got very acute perceptions, is what comes through senses. And whenever it's very contracted or labeled as painful or whatever, very, very loud, there can come there is the door for identification, because of, in the sense of rejecting this too intense whatever. And so it's very interesting to see when one of the sense disappears, one or two actually, how it like here it's hearing, but it's I'm not sure what how to say. It's also like a door, and it can lead into one or the other, because of course it's also the door for comment to come, and it shouldn't be like that, and blah, blah, and
yes, I hear you. Yes. But this time I feel like you're hearing me much better than last time. I feel like it's improved.
Because there, in your new setting, there's something that is really part of an echo, and so I use this like that, and then whatever. Sometimes it's just it's very. This body is undergoing such I'm not sure, something is transforming, but it's really shaken up in all sorts of ways, and so but yeah, there's a lot of peace at the same time. I mean, it's yeah.
May all that is appearing for you and the conditions of the body and things like this, may all just be in service to grace. May all just be in service to your true insight, your true discovery about what you are. All. May all of it be, and may it all be seen as griefs as well.
Yes.
And anyway, who's driving the car?
Oh, yes, yes, you drive the car. This is so. And I'll take this opportunity. Thank you for your blessings, always. And may there be peace in all beings in the universe.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
May all be auspicious. May all be auspicious.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you.
Really. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you. You too. Good. Let's go to Beatrice. You're saying something, my dear. We can't hear you.
Now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my dear. Just a little closer, whatever mic that was, we can bring it a bit closer.
Now?
Yes, a little better. Yeah.
So, I'm going to report. So there is a lot of movement, and there is this person trying to find things, to find the self or something. There is a lot of when it's like the person is trying to survive or something because he's seeing that is only thoughts, and it feels like it needs to be this untruthness more revealed or something. But at the same time, this is not true.
Yes, yes.
So we can see these deals that you say, for example, don't know, there is this I thoughts trying to make everything, o sea, whatever it works, they bring. So it feels like I'm letting everything happen. Sometimes feel like I'm going crazy, but this is also this I thought.
And without the I thought, every thought that has a reference to I is the I thought. If you don't make a reference, then what I
nothing.
But even that is the
Seeing
reference.
yeah?
Nothing or something, both are references, no?
Hmm.
So I know there's no real way to answer this question, but what are you seeing? What is your insight?
I see everything. I see even the moment where there is identification with these I thoughts. I see everything, everything.
Give me a moment.
And there is also
Just give me a moment.
if I
I'll come back in a moment. Okay, I'm back now.
so I don't know. There, you could say, okay, there is this. I thought, oh, I don't know. It feels like I need to do something or continue, or but it's not this way. I am already.
Yes. So
there is this. No.
Okay, let's look into something. So all these conclusions, all these interpretations, are they in the mind or are they intuitive?
Interpretations from the mind.
So that there is a person who is trying to look for the self, for example, that idea, is that from your heart or is it from the mind?
This is from the mind.
Okay, tell me fresh something which is not from the mind. Any trouble here? Any suffering? That's it. Are you confused about who you are?
No, it feels like I have the responsibility or something to
Is that from the heart?
vanish, or I don't know.
From the heart or from the mind?
This is from because if I can vanish, I mean, no. Okay.
So just live in your heart.
It feels like have to be more clear that the one who can not live in the heart, it's not what I am.
No. Where it can become less or more clear, leave that.
Can you repeat?
Wherever it can become less clear or more clear, you leave that. Where can it become more clear? Where can it become less clear? And that is the roller coaster. And if the spiritual seeker gets on that roller coaster, the journey seems to go on forever.
Yes, is this seeker?
Yes, yes. But all this, that whole area, which the mind is concluding something or no, leave that. Are you nothing without it? Like a negative nothing. Like once you leave the mind, what is there? I'm just a useless vegetable. Is it like that? Because that is what the mind will scare you with. You're nothing without me. I am adding all the value to your life. It's only suffering. It's a mental slavery. Leave it. Don't take on any spiritual projects also from the mind. Say you have to become more clear, this has to go, that has to come, all that stuff.
Yeah, this is happening. So sometimes it clear that it's not true, and sometimes there is the side that
But
is trying to fix it, or I don't know.
Nitya, wherever it becomes clear or it can become unclear, just leave that.
It's not my business.
Not your business. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
To let go of clarity and blurriness or clarity and confusion is to come to clarity, but not in the same headspace. Right.
And also, can I, because these I thoughts can be suffering or can be
All
very.
thoughts are only in the mind, including the I thought. Now, what has happened is there's a misunderstanding about this I thought as if it's like a superpowered thought which we have to chop up and then we can be free or something. No, any reference to I is the I thought. Whether you make that reference to something or to nothing, you see, it's all the I thought. So to be empty of all these references is to be free from the I thought. You just leave the thought which is being presented to you by the mind. Let the I thought be my thought.
Without trying to live.
No trying. No trying. Let it come, let it come.
It's
What is
not
that
my
try in that? What can you try about this?
Because sometimes also these I thoughts, it feels when it comes, it feels that just because it's here feels like I identify with it or something, but I don't have to do anything with this also. Bueno, yo qué sé. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Let's go to Etienne.
Hello, Ananta-ji. So happy.
Same.
So happy of all what we've been sharing and all along. I just wanted to take the opportunity. I just come back from Rishikesh, my land, my country.
Yes.
And this is a quite a yeah, it's quite an experience somehow, you know, after having been 2 years in India, you know.
Yes.
And so, of course, I see what I was somehow expecting is happening in a unprepared way, but I could foresee what I'm finding my old life and the known, so to say, and so it's a nice feeling to see how I see the known from where I am now, you know, somehow.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and so I just see almost the same, but with a slight different angle, and it's quite nice because the reason why I went away was to detach from the pure habit, from the pure repetition, from the automatism of what our whole personal life is made of.
Yes.
And so now I can either be identified to the old or just look at it. So our whole satsang today is just wonderful in that sense, because it is just about these things, and all the dialogues you are around this right now with Beatrice, with Aniko, and so on. It's all around the same.
Same.
And I felt very much to say very fresh, without having prepared anything, just how to look how the seekers, the doer, the seeker, and the mind are one, and to just take a picture of this. It's just fresh now, just as it appears now in my looking with you, because I really enjoy looking in this spontaneous sharing we have in the satsang, and just to see how we are so habituated to make efforts to grasp, to catch, as you said, to understand and to remember, and to be the one who knows. And so I can really very much see how the spiritual seeker, or the spiritual ego, or whatever, how we can say it in a lighter way, also just the me is the same. Is just a very, very childish habit of being the one who knows and who catches and who does and where's the sufferer? There he is. He's just there in this habit of being of identifying with what he knows and what he does. So it is far too small, and it cannot not be suffering. It has to be suffering, and I just watch it very much at the moment. It's just and thank you for allowing me to share it so in words with you and with the Sangha, because we make a fuss out of it. I mean, the very fuss we make out of the suffering is the suffering itself, and it's just amazing how little we can, mostly we can see that as you said, without me you are nothing, says the mind, and without enjoying being something and knowing who you are nothing, my dear.
Yes. Yes.
And so I see really much the habit of having an object, conceptual or physical or sensual. However, it has to be something. It has to be something. Otherwise, so that's it. I mean, not more to say, but this is just photography.
Very good, very good. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear from you, and to see you in this fresh surrounding is also very nice. It's very good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and yeah, thank you for the fresh sharing we can always have with you, and thanks to all who enjoy it also, and very blessed. Thank you so much.
All my love, all my love.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Janak.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can, my dear.
So it's my first time with you here also. Thank you.
Welcome.
It's my first time here with you on this satsang. And I know I feel something that wants me to come here.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fantasies about spirituality, perhaps, and some maybe romanticism about spirituality.
Yes.
Because I've been following for many years. First teacher was this Eckhart Tolle, watching films, and maybe I'm still looking for some object, like something experiential. And I'm escaping this moment I sometimes already feel, but I'm still this habit to go and resist the present. Because I want maybe something. I want something special experience maybe, and this is becoming very like I'm sometimes avoiding normal situations, casual people that I could give more respect, but I have these ideas, spiritual ideas, something that give me sense maybe of specialness sometimes, and arrogance, even arrogant, subtle feelings of arrogance that are there. So I guess I'm here to ask for I'm a Westerner, so we have something, I don't know, we are quite stubborn maybe sometimes. So I'm asking maybe for your grace also to see the master everywhere, not only in the form of Guruji, Mojiji, and also to allow open more maybe to. I'm just saying and for this.
Very good, very good. Thank you for sharing that. That's a very important point which you bring up. And I want to say also that for your first time here, you're very welcome. Just feel at home and feel completely welcome and at home. This is a common problem, and if you're familiar with the Bhagavad Gita, I've been speaking about this also often, where the Lord is clearly telling Arjun that the truth is beyond form, is beyond all objective experience. But Arjun sort of insists on getting a special experience. But the tricky part about that is that what experience is available to us right now, because we are caught up in the desire for experience, we don't experience that. Is it? So, and that is why I've been saying that if you were to fully experience one ray of light, like the light that is coming from your window right now, is so magnificent that if you experience it without your mind, you will not clamor for any other experience. You see? Any experience which the director of this beautiful movie is playing out for you in a single frame, if you were to just meet it so fully, you see, that is the only way the thirst for experience can be quenched. So the notion of the spiritual seeker, and somehow has been amplified with devotional sort of stories. It can get into this fantasy sort of realm where it can create this romantic version of what spirituality is and what life is. And all of that is all right. But the main thing is that we are missing what is truly available for us to experience in our clamoring for fresh experience. Is it?
Like, may I add something?
Of course, please do.
Like I think that this mind, this ego mind, is trying to individualize this process. Like, this is my journey. This is my, like, sometimes that's why this superiority feelings can arise sometimes. This is, I have come so far and so on. And this is like, I'm tired of this a little bit because it's making this struggle something. I don't know how to.
So okay, I'll just say something a little more about the experience, and I'll give you a tip also, because it's apparent that you're tired of the seeking. So I often say that I saw a flower only for the first time after I met Guruji. It's not that I never saw a flower before; it never came into my field of perception. But because I met it without my mind, you see, I truly met it for the first time. In the same way, you don't need to look for a spiritual experience or a fresh experience which confirms your progress or your freedom or your elevation to a special seeker or something like that. You see, you just have to let go of your interpretive voice in the head, which is saying, oh, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, what's in it for me, all of these messages. And just meet everything in pure perception. And that you notice that you could never desire anything. You see, like a desire means something new or something exciting should show up in my field of perception that I can grasp in some way, that I can perceive in some way. But actually the truth is that not one moment of what is available already in the manifest we have ever really assimilated or really met. Only then can we desire. Because we meet it halfway, our attention is dissipated between our perception and our head, you see. And that is why we feel like it is not enough. But I promise you that if you meet one moment of your waking experience fully, you can never have a desire for any other experience. You see, it is completely quenched by one moment of your full tasting. One moment of your full tasting. You see, that is the end of desire. The other thing is that this whole area of your being, where all these conclusions and tracking of your spiritual progress, and even your humility, where you're saying that this has to change and I'm too arrogant, all of that, you see, all of that is an aspect of your being, which is the mental aspect, which is the Manamaya Kosha. So just don't worry about that aspect for a while. Just taste the rest of your being. What else is there? What else is there? And that will be an antidote to this kind of thing.
I cannot believe that this is happening, that I'm speaking with you now, because I think that for most of my life, I've been also I had this quality of shyness inside me.
Yes.
And this sometimes I think that this romanticism is somehow connected. Something is connected there. I don't know, this fantasizing about life. Yes, I really would like to drop it all, like really, and these identities, spiritual identities.
Yes.
And even my my male identity.
Yes.
Like something like this, you know. It is so much. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being able to talk.
Welcome. I want to say something about this, which is that identity is built upon ideas, like you identified quite well. Now, all of this is just happening in your mind. Okay? All of this identification, building the construct about who you are as a person and who you should be, all of that. You see? Now, we can be grateful to it and say, okay, whatever it is, I'm here in Satsang now. So I can be grateful to everything. So, but now, live from a different space. See? Live from your heart instead of your head. Like all spiritual identity, all spiritual progress, all the repository of spiritual experiences, all of that, you see, is linked with your mind intellect. But in the mind intellect, you're even missing your perception of this so-called world. You're missing so much intelligence which is available in your heart. So you're right that sometimes the shyness can make us move to a fantasy sort of realm, you see, because we don't want to face the world as it is. It can seem too naked, it can seem too stark for us to face, you see. So we sort of retreat sometimes into a conceptual mixed with some experiential sort of realm. And it can feel like, oh, that's my safety, that's my comfort zone. But I'm so glad that Grace has brought you up here today and in front of all of us. You just exposed so beautifully. And meet life fully in this way. Meet your pure perception fully in this way. And then you will find that it is not less magical than anything your mind can conjure up. It is full of magic, it's full of joy, it is full of so much beauty every moment of the waking state. So
there also has been denying sometimes denying of reality, like because of the fantasies to be fulfilled.
Yes.
I was denying what is now. Like sometimes I don't what's happening.
Yes.
Like it's not true because the spiritual world, there is no suffering, no nothing. Mind concepts, right, or ideas.
Yes. Yes. When spirituality becomes a conceptual spirituality, it can be a very big oppressor.
Yes, thank you. I hope to come next time also, if possible.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Feel at home.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. Okay, let's go to Ananda and my family.
Good evening, Father.
Good evening.
Hi, Father. Namaste.
So happy to meet you. What are you doing there? Why aren't you here?
Yes, I joined a job, so held up with the work. So that's why it's almost a month I'm unable to come.
Achha.
So
that's fine, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you very much.
So, Lena, what you want to say?
Yeah.
Father, I really miss you, Father. I love you, Father.
Come soon. First
Yes,
job
Father.
will settle soon, and then you can all come, but you can also come separately.
Yeah, Father.
All good?
No, I was good.
I'm fine, Father. I'm fine. Thank
So,
you.
see all of you. All my love.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Aparna.
Namaste, Father.
Yeah, my dear. Today, Aparna will tell me a fresh story today. Yes?
Yeah.
Not any story she has told me from Australia days, from Bangalore days, something fully fresh.
Then I don't have any stories to tell you.
No story.
Yeah, I don't have any fresh story to tell.
No fresh story. That's right. Then?
Yeah. fresh story is you're not talking to me. That is a fresh story.
The fresh story is what? I am not talking to you. Achha. You come on Monday. Talk to me now, okay? fully with you.
You are with me. I know that, Father, but I'm not able to come and be with you. My total life has changed since my mom has gone. I don't have time for anything. I don't have time for even for myself also. There's so much happening. I don't know what is happening also.
Did you do that Aniko thing just now? You saw? You didn't see or you saw?
No.
She was saying that you're with me in Satsang, and then in Satsang I'm fine. But then after Satsang, then these things happen, then I'm not with you. So I gave her the project like Guruji gave one a project saying in his Brixton house, he said, you go to the garden, you go there, see when I'm not with you.
Yeah, you're always with me, that I know. Always, wherever I go, you're with me all the time. That I'm always grateful because, you know, I don't have anyone other than you.
If I'm always with you, then how are you so troubled?
I don't know. That's what I want to know. Why I'm troubled so much? Why am I crying so much? Where is my faith lacking?
Already it's such beautiful faith to see I'm always with you. But maybe the mind comes with a proposal that, okay, besides this one, you also need some other stuff.
I don't know where I'm missing. I was so strong when I came back from Australia. I could face everything so well. I could take everything so well, and things were so. No matter what the situation was, I was still able to process it, or I was able to let go everything so easily. Now it's the other way around. I'm not able to take even small things, and my daughter is becoming like literally the other way now. She's giving me so much of pain actually. All these days it was my family, and now my daughter is joining the group club, you know.
That's what teenage is called.
Sorry.
Teenage is called that. After the terrible two, it is the teenage where the kids will bother.
Yeah.
Almost teenager, no, Dhanika?
She's 9 years, almost 10, 10, 11. She's going to be getting there, yeah. So, and as it is, I have so much of work pressure, and I don't know how I'm dealing, and health also. And I don't know, Father, what is happening, and I'm trying to. And sometimes, if I don't connect you at that point of time, I feel you are also going away from me. Then, you know, then I feel like I'm all alone. I don't have anyone.
It's so much contradiction. On one hand, I'm always with you.
And on the other hand, yeah.
Going away.
Yeah.
So Zen. What is the truth?
I don't know what is the truth. And I feel you so much sometimes that I'm like really, because you're always there. Even if I don't want to, you're always there. I can never forget that. That it's like so. Maybe I'm not there, but you're there. That I can say. But sometimes
one of us has to go. Which one is it?
I don't mind going.
One of us has to go.
Yes. No, not you. Me. I don't mind.
Both can't stay.
Yeah.
The great Indian sage Rahim had said, the lane is too narrow.
Yeah.
Can't stay. There's no room for two. When there is me, there is no God. There is God, there is me.
I don't know. Still, I'm not able.
Roads, only one car can go through.
Yeah.
So what is my problem? If I am one that is there, What is the problem that I am having? Don't tell me about your problem.
You must know, Father. I don't know.
I'm fine. I'm chilling. I have no problem.
If you're here, then why am I crying?
Because you're still there.
So why don't you take me out then?
Get you to leave this house.
It's almost like 8 years since I've met you.
The one that is complaining is the one that has to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's what I'm asking you from past 8 years.
But this one,
I don't want,
if you keep listening to this one, it'll stay. No?
I don't want to.
This one is which one? This one that wants or doesn't want is which one?
I don't know.
So that is the me. That is the personal identity. And if you leave it, then you're creating a room for it. You're decorating its room. You're not asking it to leave. And we are not friendly roommates, the mind and I.
That's where and I'm caught in between.
Correct. So you leave one.
That's why I'm trying to attend every week satsang so that I cling to you than to anything else. Because I know I can find peace at your feet and not anywhere else. The other end is only pain, not peace.
Yes, yes. So be in satsang throughout the week. Be in satsang throughout the week. Don't go to the gathering. Don't go to the mind's gathering. Be with me throughout the week, not just on this satsang.
There's so much, like, it used to be like this in the past, where the mind wants to go and look for some kind of solution for the problems which is going on at the moment. So something like, to find solution so that my brother and dad comes back to me, or my daughter listens to me, or I have some other problem comes up and how do I solve that? All these things is coming up. Some kind of a resolution has to be found. That is what the mind is looking for,
The mind is always solving non-existent problems.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. And it finds joy in that, I think, or probably it's like a
It fulfills its function.
addiction.
Its function in that.
Yeah.
We are addicted to this make-believe problem solving.
No matter how much I'm trying to, put in effort to get out of
For many years, when will you give up?
God knows. I don't know.
Give
Really,
up.
I don't know.
Just give up.
Really. Chop it off now. I don't mind. I'm open for it. I'm really done with this pain and suffering all these years. How much should I go through all this pain?
This one, no, this guy, this one. Leave it. Leave it. The one who is lamenting the suffering, the sufferer. Leave it. I want the whole house to myself. Can you leave it?
Yes.
Now, what is there? Don't go there. I'm familiar with this one. Don't go there. They're saying, little old me, poor me, what's going to happen to me? That is the me voice. Leave it.
I'm with you.
Very good. Very good. So what's so bad with me?
Nothing.
Video is only one. Did you merge into the nothingness?
No. So the question pops up, what next?
Whose question is that? That is the same guy jumping into your room to stay in it. But I just have one question. What next? Give me a room for the night at least. You can recognize his voice by now.
Can I say something or not say anything?
Depends which voice you're going to represent. Speak from your heart. You can say as much as you want. But it's the same guy saying, hello, sir. One thing. Like that. But the mind only works in one thought at a time. How much leeway you want to give it?
It's like, are you finishing the deal?
What deal?
I don't know. So you make me cry, you make me laugh.
Oh, that sounds like a formula for a hit movie. Make them laugh, make them cry. Then what else? Chanda. What do you have to do?
No, I cry, you make me laugh. That's how it works.
Oh, yeah. That's always how it starts. Always starts with you crying and then just. And then after sometimes, thank you. So clear, so clear. There you go. But now, no room for the mind. Does it feel like a sacrifice to let go of the mind?
No.
You know this character in the Yoga Vasishtha. It's like a monster. It's got 1,000 arms. And it's constantly crying. Why? Because in each of those arms, he's got a weapon and he's hitting himself. So what is this monster? It is the mind. Now, this mind, it comes across a sage. The sage just asks one question. Who are you? Or it says, ask yourself, who am I? Now, for one such monster, when this question was asked, then all the hands started falling off. And it just came to a quietness, a peace. For another such monster, the sage said, who are you? Ask yourself, who am I? Yeah. I'm already troubled enough. You're troubling me more with this kind of question. And you stop bothering me and help me instead. So you have to pick. Will you stay true to what you are? Will you go with the insight about who you are? Or are you just trying to find ways to make the mind happier, make the mind feel like it is making progress, all of those things. So now if you give the mind 1 inch of identification, then they're just building the house so fast.
Yeah, when you say that be true to yourself, there was a little um, um, suffocation. It's like I'm not happy with that. I can't be happy. Or sorry, I can't be true to myself. I want to be true to the mind, something like that. So
this is the mind's voice, which is keeps showing up these positions and properties. Just see it like a tiny thing that it is for your being, which is so vast and magnificent. How big is the mind for you?
it's like there's no clarity or.
You heard when I said that don't try to get clarity. Forget about clarity. Where there can be clarity, forget that whole playground. You can see where there can be clarity. Clarity or confusion are in one aspect of your being. You can see that. Yeah? No? Suppose you got an answer, no? Perfect answer, last piece of the jigsaw puzzle, ta-da, fits in, everything is clear. See? Everything is clear. Now, which area of your existence would that be? Would it not be your mind? It would just be your mind. So coming to satsang is not finishing that jigsaw puzzle. It is to throw it all away. Doesn't matter. Is the rest of you clear or unclear? Let the mind be confused. Mind is all confused. What about the rest of you? Are you just your mind? What else is there to you? What else exists for you? Just this mind. You have a nose also, no? Might you be with the nose a little more? I'm not even joking. Give your nose more importance than your mind. The highest pointing ever.
Sometimes it feels like, what's the point of all these things?
It doesn't feel like. The mind says that. That instrument which doesn't know the slightest thing about God's magnificence tries to understand the reasoning behind God's creation. What's the point? What's the reason? What's the meaning? What's the value? It has no play in this. The magnificence of God's kingdom, your heart can understand. The point is for your heart to get, not for your head to understand. Why must there be a point? What will the point give you? If you know this is the reason, this is the main point, what will happen? Will you write a new version of Man's Search for Meaning? Yeah, this is the final meaning, I found it. What's going to happen? There are 100 such books. Forget about the point. What's the point of looking for a point? This is the mind's favorite trump card. No, what's the point? Does it know any point about anything? It doesn't know. Like, why are we here? Why is there something instead of nothing? Why is there beingness? It doesn't know the point to anything, but it always says, what's the point to spirituality? What's the point to self-discovery? What's the point of having a point? What is the point actually? All bunkum. Just pick it all up and throw it away, river. Let it get lost in Bangalore traffic.
Thank you, Father.
Take.
Place everything at your feet, Father. Please take care of my father, my dad, my brother, my daughter, everyone, Father, please.
Yes, yes.
They both are suffering a lot, Father, my dad and brother, please. May they find peace, at least in their heart.
You show them, no? You show them peace.
Father, only you're here, I can show them.
I'm
You
only
can't come and go, I can't.
I don't. Do I come and go?
I don't know.
If you want to bring peace to your family, if you want to bring them to the end of suffering, you start.
I'm working on that. That's what I'm for. That is why I am always thinking of you. That is why I'm struggling so much to find peace, so that that peace is spread everywhere. I want that. But I don't know. I want that, whatever. But
Yes. It's good.
please help me with that, please.
Yeah.
So I can't see them suffering so much. Thank you, Father. Love you so much. Thank you.
All mine. Okay, Sriram is back from work already.
Yes.
So,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to come up. Didn't spoke for a long time with you, so.
Are you in both in London now, or where are you?
South.
Yeah, we're near the coast area. Yeah, New Forest. It's called. Yeah, the area.
New Forest.
Yeah. So countryside and the sea.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love the city. What do we say to that?
Nice city.
Usually what happens is when they say countryside and nature, and then usually the response they get is wow.
Yeah.
This is like opposite to city. It's like a small village. Is the nearest area to us is a small village. So,
Sounds very nice. Okay. So Joanna had a nice conversation while you were at work.
I will watch that recording, so we'll see what she spoke to.
Because of her, we got the Sangha to make a lot of deals with me.
Which have been going on throughout the Satsang as well. More deals.
They've been going on.
Yeah.
So you know where you go for like with you, Joanna, I can spot that when you go for like meaning, when you go for understanding, you don't have to bother with that. Can you see what I'm saying? To Joanna, I noticed that sometimes what happens with her is that she just steps back and goes for meaning. Yeah? She's just like, okay. No? And then don't worry about that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to make sense of life. You don't have to understand what anything means. You don't have to understand what you have to do next. You don't have to understand whether you're making progress, whether you're understanding, all of that. Just leave it. Let your heart guide you, whatever has to happen. It's all fine. It's all fine. Did you want to say something?
No, this was a deal.
Deal. Yes. Very good. Very good. So happy we spoke. Very happy. All my love to both of you.
I just want to say maybe what sometimes comes this thing like because I had a lot of was urge, like really urge, like to just to spend all the time just to honor it and just be and now it's not so much. Everything is okay, but just so I don't know. I don't want in some way to get lost or to just to drift somewhere or like this, but just to expose it. I don't know.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. And that's a fear that many of us have gone through. Many of us have gone through that, saying that I was so full on into inquiry all the time, but now I have work and things, and attention goes on these things, and somehow sometimes days go by and I haven't asked myself, who am I? This kind of thing. So I don't want it to get lost somewhere. But as long as you're not losing yourself in your mind, nothing is getting lost. So all work, all life situations, everything can happen from the heart. Everything can happen intuitively. The only thing is just like you have been doing, keep coming to Satsang, and just don't feel like you have to go to the mind to do your job or to do your work. The heart can take care of all of this. You're no chance of getting distracted or lost. The quantity of work and how many days you go, all of that doesn't really matter. See, because consciousness can do all of this very naturally. There's no trouble with any of that.
But it comes also, it's not that I just don't have time or something. There is a time, but and it's not choosing like to watch film instead of satsang or something.
But when you watch the film, are you when you watch the film, are you watching from your heart or are you watching from your head?
Just watching.
That's it. That's from the heart. That's from the heart. Anytime you're not in your head, you're in your heart. It's like there's a head, which is blah, 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 blah. But if you're not giving value to that stuff, you're in the heart. The rest of it is all heart. That's it. So normal life, everything can happen. Going out for dinner, watching a movie, doing whatever else. It's all.
That's what is actually happening.
Yes.
Like
it's what's showing up anyway. So spirituality does not put you in opposition to what is manifesting. That is the truest way to honor God or the presence or the Sadguru is to just not believe the limiting notions of the egoic mind. It doesn't matter what life situation or life event is playing out. You don't have to be in a yogic pose with some special practice going on. Not that that can't happen, that can also show up. But it is not that you honor God more in that than when you're just in your heart with whatever natural activities are playing out in that. It's completely fine.
Thank you for clearing out.
Just be relaxed. Don't worry. That's all good. Thank you both.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Jira for the last one for today.
Yes. Hello, Father. I don't know where to start. I want to sing a song to you.
Yes, yes.
But yes, I will. Mm.
Do you want to say something before? You can, whatever you like. It's all good.
Yeah. I hear crying over here.
I've never had a satsang in 10 years where nobody has cried. Never had a satsang in so many satsangs in 10 years where nobody has cried.
So it's very common, you said.
It's very natural, very natural.
Do we have time for this?
Well, how much are you asking? How much are you saying? Say, start, let's see.
No, I don't know, Father. It feels like my personal background, so I'm not sure if I need to
Speak from
bring
your heart. Speak from your heart, whatever comes up. You can
speak from my heart.
You can spot the mind now. You can spot the mind now, isn't it?
What is spotting the mind?
Spot. Can you spot or recognize the mind?
Energetically, yes.
Yes. So just energetically, don't speak from what the mind is saying. All ears to hear.
I can recognize, but still I can go, but I can recognize and come back. Okay.
So recognize and don't speak from your head. Everything else is welcome.
I'm sorry. I feel little sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
And I can't cry so freely because I'm with my relatives.
Oh, that's too late for that now.
I mean, yeah, okay. They are the problem. I mean, not they are the problem, but yeah. Father, it's like I'm going through something. I'm aware of it. Like God puts me here, and just I remember what was already inside, and it just comes up like burning and all these things, and yeah, just make everything easy.
See if you can find God's presence in your heart. See if you can find God's presence in your heart. Is it there?
What did you ask? My attention went.
No problem. I was saying, see if you can find God's presence in your heart. See if it is here.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. At every moment it is there.
Father, when I'm told God, I already feel so good.
Yes.
Like higher power is always with me. I mean, the word God, this God thing I love more.
Very good. Very good. So the presence being, the presence of God, the presence of consciousness is all one. It's all the same. So God is with you. Now the mind will say, no, I don't want to go to God now. Right now in the middle of crying and suffering and things like that. So can you ask me about God a bit later? but in the midst of all of this suffering, if God is available to you, then all the suffering will be wiped clean. Because what greater force, what greater power can you meet than God? And in God's presence, what can we be suffering from or hurting from? It's not that you can meet half God and say, okay, now little bit of God is there, little bit of problem is there. Can it feel like that? No. When you meet God, it's full on. Full on.
Sorry, I went to mine. I was, yeah, now I realize. Yeah.
As simple as that. To drop, to recognize is the best thing. Beautiful what you just said. Just notice that and say, yes. That's all of Satsang. That's all I'm saying in all these words. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. That's very good. To recognize the mind, not the trickster, who's telling us the story of our limitation and our little old life. Very good.
Just please, if I go again, just please call me back. I will come.
Yes. Everything that you see, every quote you read, every satsang clip you watch, everything that is available to you in live satsang, everything is just that actually. That's all. That's all that's being said in so many different ways.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Oh. Yeah. I know. Okay, thank you.
All right. Very good. Be one fun bhajan. Oh, it is. Trying to do something special with the browser today. It's not used to these things. So I refuse. It is asking me who is using Chrome. What should I answer? What's a fun bhajan?
Said Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul.
Track my car.
देखो भजन भजन
हम बोले बोले हरि बोल हरि बोल
बाय
हरि बोल
yes बाय
बम बम बोले बोले बम बम बोले बोले मुझे मारा
हाँ bum.
That's
a nice one.
Bum bum.
Shiva, 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 Mahadev. 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 Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, 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 Mahadev. 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 Shiva, Mahadev. Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Mahadev. Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Mahadev. Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Mahadev. Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva 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 Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva 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 Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva 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 Mahadev. Jaya Shiva Shankara Mahadeva. 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 Shankar 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 Mahadeva. Jaya Shiva Shankara 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 Mahadeva. Shankar 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 Mahadeva. Bole bam 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 bole bam. 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 Bole
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Sadguru Shri Ananta-Part ki Jai. Guru Kripa Kevalam.